From Pop Warner to the Dome. From 5Ks to marathons. From Little League to work leagues. Focusing on the community sports lifestyle in Central New York. This is Sports Express Radio on News Radio 570 WSYR. Now on 106.9 FM.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sports Express radio show. In the studio today, we have the Kenster as usual. Good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Perry.
And the president and CEO of Sports Express Syracuse today, because we're going to go live to Dave & Buster's in a little while and talk to Lawrence Moten, who's there. But in the studio is Rob Bennett. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, Perry.
Okay, we got somebody on the line who's going to talk to us about football. But hey,
all right,
yeah. We have a little music. Turn up that music a little bit, Dave. Yeah, this is
country.
It's country. It's Chris Taylor. I met Chris at Timberbanks on Saturday. I played one hole with them, and we're talking family and everything. And this song is about something beautiful for your daughter and my two daughters. Turn it up a little bit, Dave.
Boy, this is great. Does he golf as well as he sings?
Yes, he does. He does. Okay. All right. Thank you. Hey, to Chris, I'm sure somebody's going to tell you they heard it on the Sports Express radio show. All right. On the line with us right now is a coach, folks. The coach of the winning Skinny Atlas High School football team last night. He's got to tell us about it. Joe Sindoni, how you doing there, Coach?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're doing fine. Listen, I've been told that you're going to be going on ABC, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, because you're going to get that. You're going to get a job in the broadcast booth, or no?
No, absolutely not.
No, hopefully he's not going anywhere. Perry stays at Skinny Alice for a long, long time.
Oh, so listen, you got to use me as your attorney, your agent. All right. If you're going to stay at Skinny Atlas, we got to get that salary bumped up, Joe.
I'll get you in. You can renegotiate for me.
Okay. It was a barn burner last night for you guys, wasn't it? Tell the folks about it.
Sure was. We played a very, very, very good Canastota football team, and it was nip and tuck the entire game, and we made one more big play than they did in the game, and that really was the difference.
and that play was.
Nick Wamp, our sophomore receiver, who's just tremendously athletic, caught a 6-yard hitch and broke a tackle and just outran everybody for a touchdown with about 2.5 minutes left.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, Rob, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was right there. I was actually doing the chains. I was about 3 feet from where Nick caught the ball. And I don't think it was in good taste, but I probably chased Nick down the field, holding the down marker all the way down the field. Very, very unbelievably exciting.
You didn't tell me you were on the chains.
Oh, I was on the chain gang, absolutely.
Rob does a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what does this victory mean for the Skinny Atlas High School football team?
So because we were fortunate enough to win last night, we advance. We play General Brown in the Dome next weekend for the sectional championship. General Brown is second in the state in New York, so we've got our hands full.
Oh, you got your hands full. Now, where is General Brown? What city are they from?
They're up north, so they're still part of our section, but they're up near Watertown.
Oh, way up there. General Brown. I'm sorry, I've never heard of General Brown.
Great program up
really?
there, Perry. Yeah, they've been playing great football for a long, long time.
Who's the coach up there, Joe?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know his name. I know that they've had a lineage of coaches there. In fact, we played them in 2012 in the playoffs, and I saw the head coach from that team, I think, is assisting this team. I mean, in the time I've watched them, they've had 3 different coaches, and they've stayed with the exact or a very similar system. They do something that works, and they hire guys that stick with that program, and it's made them very, very good.
Okay. So, well, how do you scout them? I mean, did you send somebody up there? I mean, tell the folks.
I actually went and watched them earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay.
We have a film exchange, so they'll send us a couple of their game films. We'll send them a couple of ours. We watch them. We all played at the same site yesterday, so we watched them play the game before us. They hung around and watched us play Canastota. So, it's one of those things where I don't think there's going to be a lot of surprises It's going to come down to the team that shows up and plays better.
Yeah, hey, Joe, I want to back you up to last night a little bit. I think it was 21-14. We were down. Skaneateles was down at halftime. It just seems like you guys are completely different defensively in the second half. I don't know if it was an effort thing, but were there any major adjustments made to help you guys shut them down in the second half?
I gotta give my defensive staff, led by Tim Lee, a lot of credit. They made a couple of what I would call, Rob, minor adjustments, and some of the plays that they scored on, the quarterback had a long run on us, was just something that we made a mistake that we needed to correct. And to their credit, they got in and they fixed it. And boy, they had a tremendous effort in the second half defensively. Canistota's quarterback is about as good of an athlete as we've seen in a long time. And, for a quarterback to run the ball 37 times, it tells you what they think of his ability also. Kid took a lot of hits, and he just kept playing. But, in the second half, we were able to limit, the damage that he was doing.
Wait a minute. 30. You didn't say that correct. You didn't say 37 times.
That's what I saw that. I haven't seen all the stats from the game yet, but yeah, they ran their quarterback 37 times.
Yeah,
this
I think
kid is
guess what?
a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah, I think the first 15 plays that they ran, the ball didn't leave the quarterback's hand or something like that.
Oh, my
Not
goodness.
very often.
Well, guess what? They played right into your hand, Coach. That's why.
I don't know about that because we collectively held our breath on every single one of those carries that we could have scored from anywhere at any point.
Yeah, Coach, everybody knows about Skaneateles' high-flying offense, and Canistota put a bunch of points this year as well, so it was kind of neat to see a defensive slugfest in the ring last night. And
not if you're the offensive coordinator. This game was not fun for me at all. They were very, very good defensively.
Well, I know that unfortunately, I've never seen you on the sidelines, Coach. Are you one of those guys that runs up and down the sideline, or are you pretty controlled?
Why don't you let Rob answer that?
Okay, Rob, tell us about Coach. Does he go up and down?
Coach is everywhere at all times.
Okay.
He's very stoic, but there's no question as to who's control out there, and he's always looking for the best from his players at all time, whether it's a close game or a game has gotten away from the other team a little bit. But he is the consummate football coach, and we're very lucky to have him in Skaneateles and his entire talented football staff. And these guys have been together for a long time, and it's just a brotherhood, and it's an absolutely treat to watch them coach and listen to how they attack certain teams' strengths and weaknesses and go about doing it. Yeah, well,
Coach, I sort of surmised that based upon your voice, the quality of your voice this morning. And I figured that you go up and down that sideline and you know what's going on. And I can just see you, whether somebody's going out on the field, whether somebody's coming back from the field, or whether they're right there in the play. You're in every single second of every single game. Anyway, congratulations. Good luck next week. And we'll look forward to talking again in the future, Coach.
Guys, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. I hope there's some video, or some audio of what was said in the locker room at halftime, because I would have loved to have heard it.
I don't think there was. They'd have to probably be bleeping.
Yeah, I would have had
I think that we kept the audio off.
Okay. Hey,
Good
Coach.
move, Coach.
Coach Joe Sindoni, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, see ya.
And Perry, just let me know. Let me tell you, the General Brown coach is Doug Black, and they're 9-0.
Woo, 9-0. Thank you very much, Ken. By the way, Costas is going in. He's a nominee. He's a nominee for the Hall of Fame. You think he's in the loop? Syracuse University honored him with the George Arnst. Is it Arnst or Annette Arnst Award? The highest alumni honor for excellence in sports. He also received the Newhouse Sports Media Center's first Marty Glickman Award in 2014. So he's a nominee. He might be in the Hall of Fame.
I used to love Marty Glickman.
Oh, yeah.
Doing Giant games.
Yeah. All right, it is time for the community Sports Report with the Kenster, Ken O'Neill.
Thank you, Perry. The Sports Express Local is brought to you by Davidson Ford of Clay on Route 31. The sectionals are in full swing, and in football, Class AA, Baldwinsville routed Liverpool 56-14. Running backs Aquari Warner and E.J. Edmonds and quarterback Ben Dwyer each had a pair of touchdowns as the Bees scored 35 points in the second period on the way to victory. They will meet Cicero North Syracuse in the finals as the North Stars' Eric Pride rushed for 4 touchdowns in a 41-7 win over Corcoran. Unfortunately, just after the game ended, an altercation broke out between the schools on the field, and 2 CNS players were injured. Both coaches said both teams were chippy at one another, and some were frustrated by some non-calls. An investigation is currently underway. In Class A, Whitesboro avenged an earlier loss to East Syracuse Manoa 20-19 to advance to the finals. Phil Gilberti led Warriors with 142 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Whitesboro will meet Indian River, who defeated Janesville DeWitt 56-42. The Warriors were led by Quasi Gaddis and Ronnie Clark, who scored 3 touchdowns each. In Class B, Homer ran over Vernon Verona Sherrill 34-0, and they will face defending Class B champion Cazenovia, who defeated Marcellus 14-3 as Jake Machetta ran 47 yards for a TD, and a clutch interception by Matt McLaughlin sealed the victory. In Class C, General Brown rolled over Sherburne Earlville 41-8. Senior Zach Barker ran for 2 touchdowns and scored a third on a 79-yard pass from QB Thomas Dupé. The Lions will face Skinny Atlas as Nick Wamp caught a short sideline pass from QB Pat Ackler and turned it into a 65-yard TD with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left to defeat Canastota. In Class D, Dolgeville scored 10 points in the fourth quarter to beat defending champion Onondaga 32-28. After a safety, Zach Carpenter of the Blue Devils ran 68 yards for the eventual winning points. They will face the undefeated Bishop Ludden Gaelic Knights 9-0, who defeated Saquat Valley 33-21, led by an 88-yard TD run by Joseph Connor. Good luck to all those teams who made the finals. And in 8-man football, South Louis defeated Tupper Lake 26-20. Falcons QB Brady Vosberg ran for 192 yards on 22 carries. In boys soccer, Baldwinsville got first-half goals from Brendan Walsh and Brandon Mimas as they shut out Liverpool 2-0, and they'll play Fayetteville Manlius in the Class AA Championship as the Hornets shut out Henninger 2-0 on goals from Grant Lick Sutpan and Hunter Knutson. In Class A, ESM defeated New Hartford, and they will play Watertown, who shut out Fulton. In Class B, West Hill won Jefferson 0 on a goal from Boyan Huda, and they will face Cazenovia, who defeated Marcellus 3-1. Ryan Modzaleski scored twice and Alex Pezzi once. In Class C, Saquat Valley will face Beaver River in the finals as they beat Frankfurt Schuyler and South Louis. And in Class D, Poland will play number 2 Lyme for the sectional championship. That will be tomorrow. And that's a look at the Sports Express Local, brought to you by Davidson Ford of Clay on Route 31. I'm Ken O'Neill.
Thank you, Ken. And coming back with Lawrence Moten right after this. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
Drink and food specials. So we want to go to Lawrence Moten to talk about the scene out there and talk about everything Dave & Buster's.
And Lawrence is buy-in, isn't that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Hey, Lawrence, are we coming out there for lunch?
What's going on, Sports Express family? How's everybody doing?
Hey, I'm so glad that you are feeling better. You weren't talking too well last week. That was a bad bug you had.
I'm back, Perry. You know, it doesn't take long. You know, you just have to take the right medicine and eat the right soup and get the right treatment. So
Hey, your grandmother.
I'm all good. All good. I'm out here at Dave & Buster's right now. Nice little crowd so far. You know, it just opened, but the kids are definitely coming in. Like Rob said, it's a rainy day, and one of the things I want to stress, not only about sports, but you know, getting my degree in education, it's very important that we understand that these kids have to have fun also. You know, we can't be serious with them when it comes to the sports and always rushing them into telling them they're going to be the best player to ever do it, or you're going to make the NBA, or you're going to make the NFL. They're still kids. So where I'm at a spot right now, Dave & Buster's, you know, I see the kids rolling in. I was lucky to have I brought about 30 photos signed. So every kid that walks in, I'll make sure I get a photo. So if you're listening on the radio, make sure you stop in at Dave & Buster's and check me out. And Matt Murrin is the general manager of Dave & Buster's, and he's doing a great job here, and we appreciate him letting us get this opportunity to, just show our respect, as far as the child in general, not just the athletic child, but the child in general, and we're here to support in any way we can.
Yeah, everyone head out to Dave & Buster's at Destiny USA. Meet Lawrence Moten, get an autographed picture, and partake in all the great activities they've got going on there.
Hey, Lawrence, how long are you going to be there?
I'm going to be here probably for an hour, Perry, hour and a half. I'm going to sit here and make sure I get rid of all of these photos and meet and greet some people and make sure the kids are having a good time.
Hey, big football game today, Lawrence?
Big game today, Redskins, Dallas. No doubt in my mind we need this game. I'm a diehard Redskin. I know we have some Redskin fans in the upstate New York area. I know you guys, Buffalo, New York, Jets, and Giants, but I'm a diehard Skin. Like I'm a diehard Orange man.
Lawrence, our producer Swati is in the booth. He's losing his mind. He's all decked out. He's got his Cowboys hat on. He's got his Cowboys shirt on. He's shaking his head at you talking about the Redskins.
Oh, yeah, I know. We got a little wager going on, so I'll make sure he fulfills his duties after we get this victory today.
Lawrence, you being from Washington, and of course you know that the game with the Redskins and the Cowboys has been a battle. I mean, it's like a war. No, it's not a battle. It's a war between those, and it has been for probably when you were in high school.
Absolutely, long times, and great memories, in high school. Don't forget, you all know I did play football, and I was blessed to have the chance to meet the great Joe Gibbs.
Oh, wow.
My senior year, senior year, I got Defensive Player of the Year. So when you make Defensive Player of the Year in the DMV, which is D.C., Maryland, Virginia, you got to go to actually Redskins Park where they practice and meet Joe Gibbs.
Oh, wow.
And they gave me a plaque, and I'll never forget it. And, I remember coming in his office, and you know what these were his exact words. He said, "Lawrence, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'll see you in 4 years."
Oh,
that's what he said.
Oh,
he said,
wow.
"I'll see you in 4."
After your Syracuse basketball career is over.
I'll never forget it was me, him, and Jeff Bostic, the center. Because Jeff Bostic was the guy who actually gave out the awards to the high school top high school players in the area at the time. So great memories. We're definitely looking forward to getting this victory today. We're 3-3, trying to get back on above 500. It's a conference game. We're 0-2 in the conference. Eagles are 6-1. Giants aren't looking too good, and the Cowboys are 3-3. So we have to get this game today. Protect your home court. We're at home, too.
Yeah, I know. Hey, sports fans, we're listening to Lawrence Moten, who's out at Dave & Buster's at the Destiny USA mall out there. So he's going to be there for another hour and a half or so, signing autographs. Bring your kids out there to say hello to Lawrence. Lawrence, guess what? If you had played football instead of basketball, especially Joe Gibbs telling you, "I'll see you in 4 years," that was pretty impressive. You never told me that, Lawrence. But guess what? You don't look this way. You don't look the way you look today. If you played football, you'd be totally different, Lawrence.
Oh, man, no question. This 6'5", 200 would be 6'5", 235.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. But just, I'm blessed, Perry, to meet guys like you and Rob, and I've been blessed to travel all over this world, meet some great people, and have some great times, and still have some great times to come. So,
hey, Lawrence.
Enjoying life, and we're going to keep it moving. But make sure you bring your kids out to Dave & Buster if you're close, if you're near. I'm going to be here for probably, like I said, another hour, meeting and greeting. And, like I said, we're here for the kids. They're very important to us.
Absolutely. Hey, Lawrence, are you a gamer?
Excuse me?
Are you a gamer? Video games?
Of course.
All right.
Gallagher and Miss Pac-Man
you go.
were my two big games.
Well,
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong. I know you guys remember Donkey Kong.
If I remember correctly,
they have the Miss Pac-Man game right here now. Kind of caught my eye.
That's
so
what
I play this game for sure.
That's what I was going to ask you. I think that's one of the largest Miss Pac-Man games on the East Coast. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, man. Caught my eye. I will definitely give us a challenge because I'm an athlete and I love challenges.
Okay. Lawrence Moulton out of Dave & Buster's. Hey, we'll talk to you later in the week, Lawrence.
Okay, take care. You guys.
Okay.
What's up, Ken?
Okay, there we go. There's Lawrence Moulton. Okay, folks, hang on in your seats. We're coming back with the Athletes of the Week after our next segment. It's only just a short, but we have to take time for these robust commercials. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
Sports Express Radio continues on News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Sports Express Radio Show. In the studio today is the Kenster Ken O'Neill and Rob Bennett, the CEO and Chief Cook and Bottle Washer of the Sports Express Syracuse. Hey, Rob, you got your magazine is out, right?
Yeah, we just got our first magazines out in Rochester.
In
and Utica.
Yes.
And Utica.
And the one in for Syracuse is coming out?
It'll be out in the next week or so.
Okay, all right. This is time for the Kensters. Do we call it something else or just it's your second community sports report? There's so much to talk about. I don't know.
I just call it Sports Express Local.
Sports Express Local with the Kenster, Ken O'Neill.
Thank you, Perry. It's brought to you by Davidson Ford of Clay on Route 31. In girls sectional soccer, Division AA, the Baldwinsville Bees are the champions with a 3-0 win against Liverpool. Goals by Simone Neville and 2 by Katie Pascal led the Bees to a 16-2 season. In Class A, Jamesville DeWitt on 2 goals from Player of the Year Laney Fody won the championship over CBA 2-1. The Lady Red Rams scored on a free kick from Fody from 30 yards out and a pass from Grace Thomas for the second goal. In Class B, West Hill's Megan O'Reilly scored in the 79th minute to give the Warriors a 1-0 win over Lowville. West Hill goes to the first round of the state playoffs 5 p.m. Tuesday against Chalmont. In Class C, Olivia Langdon scored the game winner for Little Falls in the 77th minute as they defeated Saquat Valley 2-1. Goals by Valley's Kristen Purcell gave them the lead until Nicole Failing tied it in the 71st minute. Little Falls takes on Elmira Notre Dame in the state regional. And in Class D, Poland's Victoria Rommel netted 2 goals as the Tornadoes defeated Cincinnatus 4-1. Carlisa Rourke and Riley Weishart had the other 2 goals. Congratulations to all and good luck in the state championships. In field hockey, today's 4 sectional championship games have been rescheduled for tomorrow due to weather conditions. In Class AA, defending champion Baldwinsville, led by Amanda Strength's 31 goals, takes on Cicero North Syracuse with goalie Allie Wagner's 11 shutouts. In Class B, the Camden Blue Devils, led by Mackenzie Mix, Lily Sullivan, and Delaney Alberico, take on East Syracuse Manoa, led by goalie Corey Palmer. In Class C, the Holland Patton Golden Knights, led by McKenna Willems and Emily Mesrick, both with 13 goals, playing number 1 Clinton, led by Gianni Trunfio, who had 18 goals this season. And in Class D, defending champion Weedsport, led by Ashley Whiteman, 16 goals. Goals against Little Falls, as the Mounties goalie Mackenzie Harrington had 5 shutouts and a goal against average under 1 goal per game. The sectionals continue in girls volleyball Class AA. Carolyn King recorded 20 kills and 6 digs, and Anna Snyder added 26 assists as West Genesee defeated Cicero North Syracuse and will face number 1 seed Baldwinsville in a semifinal match. The Fayetteville Manlius Hornets swept past Central Square and will play number 2 Liverpool in the other. In Class B semis, Solvay's Brielle Bagazi and Gabby Rivera combined for 50 kills as the Bobcats defeated Skinny Atlas, and they'll play top seed West Hill, and Marcellus defeated Homer, and the Mustangs will face Cazenovia in the other. And finally, in college action, Justin Knight, the best distance runner in the history of Syracuse University, added to his trophy collection with his 8th ACC title on Friday as the men's team won its 6th straight conference team title under head coach Chris Fox. And for the women, Paige Stoner made school history and became the first at SU to win a women's cross-country individual title. And actually, and that's a look at the Sports Express. I thought there was more, so I kept going. But anyway.
Wait a minute. She's the first in history?
In history, yes. Paige Stoner made school history.
Okay, Paige, nice going.
And that's a look at the Sports Express Local, brought to you by Davidson Ford of Clay on Route 31.
All right, now with all of those reports, Rob Bennett gives us his Athletes of the Week. I don't know how you pick these people out, but you do. So tell us about your Athletes of the Week.
Well, thanks, Perry. This is such an exciting time of the year as the fall sports season wraps down and we begin the sectional championships and all of the great competition that goes on. So there's just so much everywhere. It is very, very difficult to decide. I have a question for you along with our Athlete of the Week. You a big soccer guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
You know what a golden goal is?
No.
What about you, Ken?
A golden goal is I have no idea.
So my understanding is that when soccer gets into their playoff mode at all levels, that when they get into extra time, the goals become sudden death, and if you score a goal in sudden death, which ends the game, then that's called a golden goal.
a golden goal. Okay,
all
okay,
right.
good,
Yes,
good. That's
very
fine.
good,
Thank you.
very
So
good.
our athlete of the week is from Watertown that won the Class A sectional championship on a golden goal
Okay.
by Brian Netto in the 99th minute of that soccer game. And,
99
to-
minutes.
99 minutes, and so that was Brian's second goal of the game to win 2-1 and earn Watertown the Class A sectional championship. So Brian Netto is our athlete of the week.
Hey,
for this
congratulations, Brian. I know you can hear us up there. By the way, this signal goes anywhere. And if you want to go to the iHeartRadio app, you can hear us anywhere in the world.
week. Anywhere in the world.
I mean, come on,
You listen to it on
Japan,
your-
North Korea. Let's let the we gotta
North
get
Korea?
Ching Jung. Oh yeah, we want to let him start listening to our show as well. I'm really not a soccer. I'm not a soccer fan per se, but everybody in my family played soccer, Rob.
Soccer's a fantastic sport.
Oh,
and
it is.
just, so many kids playing it.
Guess what? I'm telling you now that soccer. If you went to especially some of the elite programs, the high school programs, I guarantee you, if you go to one of those practices and you watch those kids run, there will be at least 9 or 10 that you can put football uniforms on and play football.
And Perry, I don't know if you remember the Rochester Lancers.
So of course.
Well, I started watching soccer way back then in the 80s, and then I had hurt myself, my leg one time, so I was at home, and I started watching English soccer.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Oh,
There's
yeah,
some
they can-
fantastic
Oh, yes.
matches.
Oh, yes. Oh,
even
yes.
even like you say, well, there's not a lot of scoring, but some of the 1-0 matches were some of the best ones I have seen.
Oh, yeah, of course. But by the
Unbelievable.
way, I'm glad you brought that up because over there across the ocean, all right, the little pond over there in England and the soccer they have there in Spain and on a worldwide basis, soccer was far more popular than they called it football.
Right,
Some
right.
people still call it
Yes, they
football.
do. Yes, they do.
But the United States decided to make a move way back when, and they started to develop the soccer programs. And how are you going to start it? You can't start kids in high school, which is probably the only chance they had originally.
Right.
They start them now when they're 3 and 4 years old. No, wait a minute, 3. They're kicking that soccer ball around at 3 years old now.
Well, your grand
Daughter, yes.
hitting balls at 3 years old.
I'm told that I'm disruptive in the house. I got Perry kicking the ball in the house, hitting pictures and everything else, knocking over lamps, and I'm disruptive. What's the big deal?
Well, you're the grandfather, so you can do that. You can do that.
What were you
Hey,
going to say?
I've got a couple honorable mentions
Okay.
as well. So we've got the Poland girls soccer team winning the Class D sectional championship with 2 goals from Victoria Rommel. And in Class C, Little Falls is your Section 3 champions with Olivia Langdon scoring the winning goal.
And it's the Poland Tornadoes. I love
Poland
that
Tornadoes.
name.
And then just one last thing, very interesting that you talk about Katie Pascal from Baldwinsville scoring 2 goals in the sectional championship game. And then you talked about Baldwinsville being the number 1 seed in volleyball. I watched Katie Pascal play volleyball where she was the best player on the court, and now she's not even playing volleyball for the number 1 seeded Baldwinsville Bees. She's playing for the championship soccer team. So
Isn't that
we just
wow.
have so many incredible athletes in Central
yes.
New York, which is what makes this radio show and everything that we do at Sports Express so much fun.
Yeah, hey, folks, in the next segment, we're going to take a short break, but in the next segment, don't miss this next segment. Steve Gregory, sound familiar? Yes, the same cornerback that played 4 years at Syracuse, went on to play with the Chargers, and he was undrafted, no less. We got to hear that. I got to hear that story. Steve Gregory coming right up. This is News Radio 570 WSYR, now on 106.9 FM.
More of Sports Express Radio on News Radio 570 WSYR. Now on 106.9 FM.
Yeah, the Sports Express radio show is back on the air with the Kenster, Ken O'Neill, and Rob Bennett.
Good
morning.
morning.
Guys. Hey. All right, listen, we aren't going to waste any time. We're gonna get Steve Gregory on the air here. But first of all, I got to tell you now that he wasn't born around here. He was born in Brooklyn, folks, and I can't wait to hear that Brooklyn. What, Rob?
Staten Island?
No, Brooklyn. Oh. He's born in Brooklyn. Hey, Steve Gregory, were you born in Brooklyn or Staten Island?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, doing really well. The first question: were you born in Brooklyn or Staten Island?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, but I grew up mostly in Staten Island. So
okay.
You guys
That's
arguing
right.
about it. You're both kind of.
Hey, I was born in Queens.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we know all about you already in I can't believe your high school record. I just can't. Tom Lemming, all East and rivals, got all region selection, 2-time All City selection, National Football League Foundation, all Metro section at wide receiver. That's where you started.
Yeah, well, high school I kind of was like a jack of all trades. I played running back, receiver, quarterback. So they moved me around a lot, and yeah, I definitely had a good career. It's fun to bring up those memories and hear some of the stuff you're talking about. It's been a long time.
Now, why did you decide to come to Syracuse University?
Back when I was in high school, I mean, Syracuse, the program, it was just after the McNabb days, and the program was really doing well, and they'd been to a lot of bowl games. And when I came up and visited, I just kind of fell in love with the place. I loved the dome. It was packed when I came to watch a game up here. And my high school coach had a relationship with some of the coaching staff that was up here back then with Pasqualoni, and there was a guy on the staff. His name was Jerry Azzanaro. So we had a relationship there, and when I came up and visited it, kind of fell in love with the place. It was close to home. My family can still be a part of my of coming and watching games. So that's just kind of how it went.
Yeah, so you're named to the 2002 All Big East Freshman Team and Freshman All-American by Sporting News, which is really pretty cool, and ranked 5th nationally, first among freshmen in passes defended with 21. Anyway, okay, so you're at Syracuse. You start your career. You go through four years, and in your senior year, you were one of 16 players to play all 11 games. After your senior year, you're hoping somebody's going to draft you, and it doesn't happen, does it? So tell us what you're going through. Tell us what you're going through there, and what made you decide that you're going to play NFL football come hell or high water.
Yeah. Well, I always had the aspiration. It felt like I could, but it's the humbling reality that there are a lot of good football players out there at the college level, and not everyone's going to always get their look. I mean, there's a lot of guys to choose from and a lot of talented players. So for me, obviously not getting drafted, I still had a handful of teams that wanted to sign me right after the draft, and ended up going to San Diego, and it was a good fit. I battled it out in training camp and ended up winning a roster spot. So
did you become a beach bum out in San Diego for a while?
What's that?
Did you become a beach bum out in San Diego for a while playing football?
Yeah, eating burritos along the wall. It was fun.
Okay, so you're with the Chargers. Let's see, back in 2006, was it Fouts?
No, he wasn't there. I was there with Phillip Rivers.
Oh, Rivers. Phillip has been there that long?
Perry, you just dated yourself big time.
Phillip Rivers, oh my goodness. Oh yeah,
He's the grandpa quarterback of the league.
Hey, listen, I think everybody's wearing diapers these days. What difference does it make? Anyway, okay, so you're with the Chargers. It's great weather out there, and you've got San Diego, I have heard, Steve, is one of the nicest places in the country to live, with the weather-wise and everything else. Did you find that to be true or no?
Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, I hope one day, in the future, me and my wife plan on living out there again. I mean, it's such a beautiful place to live. The weather is, when they say 75 and sunny every day, I mean, it truly is. I mean, you don't even have to watch, the Weather Channel. I mean, the news guy has the easiest job in the world. So, it was fun living out there. It's just far, I mean, being an East Coast guy, and my wife was born on the East Coast, not far from Syracuse, and all of our families out here. The only thing that makes it tough is being away from your family. So, for the meantime, that's why we're settled back down here in Syracuse with our daughter, and raising our family here around the grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and just being a part of our family. But who knows? One day, when the kids go off to college, maybe we'll settle back down out there.
Maybe, but while you're here, you got to become one of our Sports Express ambassadors, Steve. We're going to have you on the air down here too, more often.
Yeah, definitely, man.
All right, listen. Okay, so you're with San Diego Chargers until 2011, and then so how did you happen to end up in New England with Tom Brady?
Yeah, so obviously I played out my career there in San Diego. Played out my contract there. A couple years in, they signed me to a 4-year extension, so I ended up playing 6 years there, and just played out my contract and became a free agent. Once I became a free agent, it was like day one of free agency, and Bill Belichick calls me up and expressed interest in bringing me out there and signing me. So I was on a plane that day, go out there, take a physical, meet with the coaching staff, and next thing you know, I'm being signed by the Patriots. And, it was awesome. It was a great opportunity for me to get back to the East Coast, join a great organization, have an opportunity to, try to go win a Super Bowl and be with a team that really wanted me. So it was an exciting time for us when that happened.
Yeah, and it wasn't that far for your family to drive up and watch you play, was it?
No, definitely not. We every game day in New England, we had quite a group of people at the house, so it was fun.
Well, you've had a great career up until then, and then as with all athletes, we all have to come to a point where we say, well, I guess it's time. We don't have. We make a decision for our own reasons, and you made the decision. I believe you tell the folks why you made the decision that it was time to retire.
Yeah, I mean, I had a long, successful career, and you hit a point at a certain point where it's just you have to have this aggression and desire in you to go out there and collide with people on a day-to-day basis. And once I had finished up in New England and got signed by Kansas City, my daughter had just been born. And we were settled on the East Coast, so to move my whole family, out to Kansas City, and not give, them an opportunity to grow with my daughter and these other things, I just made the decision that it was time to move on and move to the next stage of my life. Playing out there in San Diego and Kansas City would have been great, but for me, more important was making that transition and being close to home and being with the family. So I decided to hang up the cleats and move on to whatever was next for me.
Well, guess what? You made the right decision, Steve. You made the right decision for sure. It is always the right decision when you put your family first. And we're proud of you for doing it. And we're proud that you're back here in Syracuse, living the. By the way, tell us what you're doing now here in Syracuse.
Yeah, so when I was playing towards the end of my career, I started investing in some commercial real estate, and when I retired, I partnered up with a couple guys, and we invest in commercial properties, and we own some stuff in Syracuse, some stuff around the country that is income generating properties, and it's fun. I mean, it's something that keeps me occupied and busy and working all the time, and something that I'm interested in. So it was a good transition for me.
Oh, wow. Well, guess what? You just hit a nerve with me. That was my former life.
Oh, really?
Oh, my gosh. About 12,000 apartments along the East Coast, Steve. Oh, I couldn't wait to get up in the morning to find out what the problems were, because I know what you're going through now, and that is really cool. Now I'm sure you've got to be one of our sports ambassadors, because you've got flexibility with your time. It's not like you have to go into the office at 9 o'clock and you have to be there and punch out at 5.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Come on.
The flexibility of it. You don't have to punch the clock. So
no, real estate
definitely keeps you busy, and you have to be on top of it, but you kind of make your own schedule.
Oh, listen, office buildings, shopping centers, strip centers, apartments, condominiums, developing them, managing them. It was really exciting, because let's face it, the more properties you have, the more you have to make sure that those people on those properties are well trained.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, no kidding. And by the way, there are only 2 things now I can tell you. There are only 2 things, and there isn't anything that you can say that you can't put in these 2 things. You want to be successful in real estate? You better have them properly maintained and efficiently managed. Yes or no, Steve?
Absolutely true, without a doubt.
Yeah, there you go. And if you do that, You'll be a very happy man by the time you end your career. You're still wearing diapers. Gregory, you're still wearing diapers in real estate. This is terrific.
I'm not fully washed up yet. I'm always
Okay, so you're here now, and your future is going to be investing in real estate, which is really cool. That's the fastest way I know of to put a couple of dollars in the bank, but you got to be patient, right? You got to be patient. You have any questions for Steve?
Yeah. Hey, Steve. I was down in New York when you were finishing up your high school career, and right when you went to Syracuse is right when I moved up here. So followed you all throughout high school, Syracuse University, and right through the Chargers and the Patriots. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate everything that you've accomplished. But I just need to ask you something. Because Perry just pointed out to my attention, but I had no idea that you play such an important role in football pop culture, being involved in the Mark Sanchez butt fumble play. And Perry pointed that out to my attention today, and I couldn't believe that I didn't know that about you. You get asked about that at all? Is that
That's one of those things we joke all the time in the family. It's like it's going to be a Jeopardy question one day. Who picked up the ball and ran it for a touchdown?
I can't believe I didn't know that wasn't you.
Yeah, so that was awesome, though. I mean, obviously growing up in New York City, a lot of my friends and people that I know growing up were Jets fans.
Yep.
So for that to happen on Thanksgiving, I'm playing against the Jets. It was a lot of phone calls for a long time. I'm still getting phone calls and text messages about that play.
Yeah.
My little guy's actually at the Jets game today getting poured on.
Listen, Steve, this won't be the last time we'll talk to you. We haven't talked at all about Syracuse football, so we'd like to do that maybe the next time. The defensive side.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, they're looking good. They definitely have upside, and they've been playing well. So I'd like to see them win a little bit of some of these games that they have a chance to win, especially the Miami game. If you don't, you take away the turnovers in the first half, I'd love to see how that game played out without that happening. But but they're definitely playing well.
Hey, Steve, thank you very much. Look forward to talking to you again. All right.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See you later. Yeah. Okay. Bye. All right. Hey, listen. I thought we had were you going to play the music at 57:35? Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got it. All right. So it's 58:35. We have a long time we have plenty of time to talk. You have anything to add before we?
Nope.
Well, hey, there it goes.
That surprised you.
There it goes. There's the bump music. Now,
who's going to win, L.A. or Houston? Who's going to win the World Series? Best of three now.
I like Houston.
You very well could be correct.
I like Houston. What about you?
I like Houston, but definitely cheering for the Dodgers.
Me too. Me too. I'm cheering for the Dodgers.
Well, you're a turncoat anyway.
Yes.
You're a turncoat anyway.
Thank you.
All right, so we're looking forward to. By the way, are we on next week or no?
We are not on next week.
Oh, okay. We're gonna miss next week, folks. Just remember that. Pay attention to the show, though. But we'll see you in 2 weeks here. Hey, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Rob. Folks, this is News Radio 570 WSYR. We are now on 106.9 FM.